Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Grow Wealthy Grooming. I'm your host, River Lee. I'm a certified feline master groomer. I was a dog groomer for over 10 years. I owned multiple businesses, including a grooming salon with 5 employees. I used to manage doggy daycares. So I've done just about everything in the industry. So I want to welcome you to our live show on Mondays. Now, I am a little late today. If you guys may hear, it is very, very warm in here today. I'm like trying to fix my hair. I'm like, hot mess today, hot mess. But that said, it's very warm here and we have this massive thunderstorm. So having a little bit of connectivity issues. I'm hoping we will not get dropped. If we do, I will come back live. So thank you so much for being here today. Our goal today is to talk about how every customer is not your customer. And I don't want to talk necessarily about customer service and things like that, but making sure it aligns with what you want and the best way for you to live your life. So this is also for people that are employees. It doesn't even always just mean somebody that is a business owner. And you might be like, how is that? So the best way I can explain it, and I've done this in one of my blog articles, is when we talk about customers, I say, let's say coffee. Lots of places sell coffee. Let's talk about, we have Dunkin' Donuts here. That's our like mid-level coffee. We've got Starbucks, which is our more high-end expensive coffee. And then I'll use the example of McDonald's because McDonald's is $1 coffee. You get $1 coffee any size. So the truth is all three of these places sell coffee. McDonald's, it's $1. And you can see my cat in the background too. It is unstable, having issues. Hopefully we're still live. So with that said, Dunkin' Donuts is your mid-range coffee. It's like $2.50 for a medium cup of coffee. And Starbucks is generally about $2.50 or $3. Now you're sitting there going, that's not a lot of difference. But when you put in perspective, going from $1 to $3 is literally triple the price, right? Hopefully my math is right there. Otherwise, it's not really stupid. Yeah, because double the price would be $2. Edit that out, guys. Oh my God. It's just going to be one of those days. Yeah, so it's triple the price. Because it's triple the price, if you think about it in the responsive grooming, instead of someone having a $40 groom, now we're talking a $120 groom. So that is a substantial difference. Even though it's a small monetary amount, the value has gone up significantly. So, and again, going up $1 from Dunkin' Donuts to Starbucks, that is a 50% increase. It's a lot of increase. That'd be like going from a $40 groom to an $80 groom, right? So that said, why do people choose to get their coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and McDonald's? And if I were to assume things, because that's the best we can always do, right? We don't actually know. We are not in someone's head to find out exactly why they do things. We don't have the resources for that. We don't have marketing. We have marketing firms to do this for us. But if I were to take a wild guess, when I look at somebody who does McDonald's, let's also lump them in with Walmart. This is, I'm trying to think of things that are universal. Walmart, everyone has a Walmart by them. In this area, it would also be like we have Cumberland Farms, which are like kind of low-end gas stations. They're bargain. People go and get coffee at McDonald's because it's cheap. It's cheap, it's convenient, it's fast. They're everywhere. You can just run in and out and grab it. So with that said, that same person gets very similar convenience with Dunkin' Donuts. However, Dunkin' Donuts is a specialty store. Hi, how are you? So if you're going to Dunkin' Donuts, you're going out of your way because there's not as many of them, let's say, as McDonald's. So that said, that person cares a little bit more and they're going to pay a little bit more. They're going to vote with their dollars. And Starbucks, I'm a big Starbucks person. Everyone knows that. I overspend my money on Starbucks. That said, I will go out of my way, sometimes a long time out of my way. I might have to drive 30 minutes each way to go get Starbucks. So with that, I want you to think about who are you? Are you the convenient, cheap, fast person? Are you kind of mid-range and people would like to be with you, but if they can't, then they won't? Or do you want to be Starbucks? And Starbucks has a lot of their own problems because obviously there are less people who want to go to Starbucks than McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts. They're going to do less customers, but that's why they charge more to make up the difference. So in this analogy, you can also look at this for employment. You know your skill set, you know everything that you're doing. And with that, ask yourself, am I, Walmart, McDonald's? Am I Dunkin' Donuts? And if I am Dunkin' Donuts, am I happy there? Or do I want to be up higher? Oh boy, someone just posted something very nasty. It's okay. They obviously live in their parents' basement. It's okay. So again, what is it? So I'm the kind of person that when I was deciding what I wanted to do in my business, my first business, I definitely would say that I started as the McDonald's groomer. I had very cheap prices when I started my grooming salon. I might do a dog as low as $25, $35 because I didn't feel confident and I was so desperate to have clients. So that's what I did. And it really didn't work out because ultimately I had to do a lot of dogs for the same amount of money that now I don't have to. So when you're looking at this, you have to say to yourself, okay, how much money do I need to make in a day? What is reasonable for me to groom? What are my skill sets? What is my branding? All of these things. Sometimes when this is happening, you have to make sure that what you are doing lines up with everything. So let's say if I am a competition level groomer, but my shop looks incredibly tacky and people are wearing overalls and it's not a aesthetically pleasing place to walk in. I walk in and there's hair everywhere, which I understand mid-Saturday, there's nothing you can do. But as a customer, if I'm a wealthy customer, an affluent customer, I don't want to come in with my Chanel heels and walk all over dog hair in the waiting room. That's not what I want. I don't want to have to trudge through the hair to go pay. And so we have to think about things like that. Somebody who's wearing shoes that are worth more than my first car, that's somebody who's going to pay higher prices. Or if you want someone who's a little bit more low grade, let's say, I don't want to say low grade, that's not fair. If you want somebody who's a little less high maintenance, they're less maintenance, it's great. But someone who's less maintenance is probably not going to invest the money that you might want. So a lot of times people will say something to the effect of, I want every 4-week clients who pay whatever I would tell them to pay, and they want their dogs not 10 stripped. It's like, okay, well, who is the person? Who are these people that have enough money and they see value in their pets being clean and maintained? Those are generally the same kinds of people that take care of their own selves, probably go to the nail salon every 2 weeks, probably get their hair done regularly. They might have a nice car and they might take that car to the dealership. They probably have lawn care and they get lawn care done every week versus waiting too long. So those are your ideal customers if that's what you want to do, if you want to be Starbucks. Starbucks does a lot of things to encourage people to come in all the time. So that's a way to do it. When you're looking at that, look at your skill set and ask yourself, am I really the groomer that I want to be? I did know how to groom really well. I don't say I did. I do. I'm way too lazy for it. I don't want to sit there and scissor a dog for an hour. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. That's why I do cat grooming, because I don't have to do pretty much any scissoring. It's fantastic. That said, with that, there are so many opportunities. But again, you have to make sure that your image is on point, and not everyone is your customer. So if you own a higher end boutique salon and a once year Newfoundland walks in the door, you probably don't have time to service them. And even if you do service them, it's going to take so much more time, energy, money on your part in order to take care of that customer. And you're taking away from the good customers that come in every 4 weeks. If you want a salon where you're like, oh no, I want everyone to come in 6 to 8 weeks, I'm totally fine with that. That's great. But then you have to remember that somebody who's willing to slide on times, you've got to fill in that spot. So knowing what you want in a customer is going to be incredibly helpful. And not everyone is your customer. You know, my last business. So the cat grooming business. I'm mobile. I want it to be really tight. So with that, it sounds crazy, but it's $100 to $165 per cat. They have to be on a 4-week schedule. And I try to make everyone on the same schedule. And if I make it all on the same schedule, then that's going to really help me out because it makes me have to show I don't chase customers. I know the condition the cat's going to be in. I know all of these positive things, And that's what I want in my business. And because I want those Starbucks level clients, you know, I have a uniform, I have, you know, my branding, I believe, is on point with those women. These are not necessarily Chanel shoe people, but what they are people that are willing to invest in the right place. And I can see that in all the patterns of their purchases. And like when I talk to them, these are my Neiman Marcus people, my Nordstrom people. You know, they are more likely, you know, they might shop at TJ Maxx, but they probably don't. And if they do, they're almost a little embarrassed to admit they went to TJ Maxx. That's my client. And in the middle, you have lots of people in the middle, especially if you want people with young kids. So depending upon where you live, if you live in a commuter town or in an area that's wealthy, but it's mostly young families, someone with a young family needs more flexibility. They can't, you know, they don't know what the hell's going to happen with their 3 kids. If they have 3 kids under 10, every day is an adventure. So they never know what's going to happen next. And so if you want somebody for that, then you have to remember that that person is probably going to cancel a lot of appointments. That person will do their best, but if one kid gets sick, what are they going to do? You know, they're not going to cart their kid and their dog. You know, the kid's throwing up the back seat. They're not going to cart that kid to your grooming salon and then wait 2-4 hours for the dog to be done and then grab the dog again. That's not going to happen. They're just going to cancel and let the dog get dirty. They're going to travel more and they're going to travel in more places. The dog's going to get more dirty. You know, there's lots of young people who have dogs that they take hiking. But when I think of a young family, I think of trips to the beach with the dog. They go to Maine. In my area, I live in New England. You know, they go to Maine with the dog, which means that they're going to be hiking and there's going to be birds and they're going to go swimming in ponds and there's going to be, you know, animals and dirt and all that stuff. So that's when I think about like a young family. And that dog is going to be a lot more maintenance than a dog owned by a woman, let's say in her 50s or 60s, when her kids are grown and they're out of the house. You know, and on the flip side, if you want somebody who doesn't view their pet as family or they don't invest in their pet as family, that's a lot harder sell. Those tend to be your once a year, you know, grooms, you know, either right before Christmas or right before summer. You know, they either want to shave them because they think they're going to be hot or they want to make sure that the mother-in-law doesn't judge them on Thanksgiving. And that is a big pool of people. There are so many people like that. I would say that's about half of the community that own pets. And then there's various shades of how much people care about their animals. But, you know, when you're in the veterinarian industry, I noticed that it's essentially like the people that will pay things. So if the pet gets sick, let's say the dog ate a sock. You have people that'll just put the dog down. You get people that'll put it on the credit card, but only for like $1 or $2 grand. And then you have people that say, I don't care what it costs. I love my animal. I want him to be better. And we tend to be the, I love my animal. I want him to be better. But not everybody is. And we just always assume that people will be that way. And then you start feeling compassion fatigue because you so desperately want to make all these animals' lives better. And there's nothing you can do because this person has decided, your McDonald's people have decided that it is not cheap, it is not quick, it is not convenient, then they don't want it. They will go elsewhere. They will not wait in line for $1 coffee for 2 hours. I've been in Starbucks where sometimes the line is so long down here, it could take an hour to get a cup of coffee. I've had situations where, now this is obviously in a touristy area, but it took 2 hours, which is insane. But I wasn't going to be like, forget it, I won't get my coffee. I'm like, no, I want my coffee. I just don't want to wait this long. And obviously they gave me the coffee for free, but there were all kinds of issues. I live in a touristy town and they got hit with mobile orders and it just became chaos and people were stealing people's drinks. It was pretty intense. That said, you always want to look at, all right, so back to your skill set. With your skill set, figure out, does what you want to do with your skill set fit your clients? So if you love hand scissoring dogs, let's say that's what you love. I don't understand those people, but I love you anyway. I like the cheat. I like the, comb cuts, big fan, scissoring, no thanks. So if you're that person who wants to do hand scissor dogs, you need the Starbucks clients because even the Dunkin' Donuts clients, they can't pay you for your time. The extra time it takes you to scissor up a dog versus just running a 5-blade through it, it's at least double. And if you want someone to pay you double for your time, and let's be honest, double wear and tear in your body. Scissoring is so bad for your hands. It is so bad for your hands. So how are you going to attract those people? And then if you're an employee and you love hand scissoring, or let's say you love hand stripping, anything that's a higher end skill set, if you actually know breed profiles and not by you learned at PetSmart or Petco, and there's nothing wrong with learning at PetSmart, Petco, but when you think the Cocker Spaniel is like a 10 strip and then you're like, this is just like a hula skirt, it's not a Cocker cut. Or you're like, oh, I put a Karen head on this Westie and it's just, that's not no. Yeah, exactly. What I'm talking about. We all know who we're talking about. So make sure if you have those amazing skills that you're going to work for a place that is actually going to pay you accordingly and actually cares that you have those skill sets. Because there's plenty of people in the middle. When I was a dog groomer, my dog grooming skills were definitely in the middle. I was not a chop shop, but I had no interest in doing anything longer than an inch. If somebody wanted me to hand scissor their dog, I said no. If someone wanted me to leave their dog, and I'm talking poodles, Shih Tzus, Malteses, etc., Yorkies, and they're like, oh, can you just, I'm like, no, I don't do. It just wasn't me. It didn't make sense. It didn't make any sense financially for me because I can have a haircut done in probably about an hour and charge at the time $65 for a Shih Tzu Yorkie style dog, $55, $65. But if I had to sit there and hand scissor, it would take me at least another 30, 40 minutes. And so then I'm actually losing money because they're not going to be paying me $80, $90. They didn't want to do that. They wanted to pay this $55, $65, even though it would take more time. And that was my clients. My clients wanted cute, comfortable. I hope we didn't lose power. So that's what my customers wanted. But I knew that. And I knew customers that wanted to be groomed and have all of their, completely hand scissors. Like I like my standard poodle right now. I'm taking her to a wonderful groomer because I don't want to do my standard poodle. A lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's way too much work. I want her short, but I want her in like a modified German. and I don't want to do it. No. And she's an amazing groomer. She specializes in poodles, and I don't even care what it costs. Like if she said, "Oh, it's an extra $25 when I dropped the dog off." Now, when I dropped the dog off, I'd be okay with that. So tell me why, if you're an employee, why you chose this. If you're an employee, tell me why you chose the business that you're working for. Do they have the customers that your skill set in what you want fits? And then if you are a business owner, are you getting the clients that you want? And if you're not, stop and think about why you're not. Now, I wanted to go more deep into this. However, it is really thundering and lightning outside. I have a bad feeling I am going to lose power. So I don't want to continue this and lose power. What I will do is I will create some videos based on going more into depth of the three that I talked about, the three customers, the McDonald's, the Dunkin' Donuts, the Starbucks customers. I'll do some follow-up videos for that and really go down deep into what I think that means. And you guys can tell me if you like that idea, or who's your customer, why are they your customer? And there's going to be variations because you're going to have people that make a lot of money, but they're Dunkin' Donuts customers. And you can always tell who a Dunkin' Donuts customer is that you think is, or I should say they're a McDonald's customer when you think they're a Dunkin' Donuts customer, because you'll go up $5 and they act like you've killed them. Like, I can't afford this. You're like, it's $5. $5 once a month, you'll live. You'll live. All right, guys, I am so sorry. This is going to be cut short. It has been great talking to you guys. I always want to bring up my online course, Personal Finance on a Leash. We are going to be opening at the end of August. Before that, if you want to join, I will put the link below. However, if you're finding this later and you're unable to join, because we only open up Personal Finance on a Leash twice a year, I would love for you to come to the community. You can join my Facebook group called Finances for the Grooming Industry, and I would love to see you there. All right, guys, happy grooming.